G'day guys, Ron here from Osborne Digital Marketing. Today I'm going to be showing you the Skyscraper Backlink building strategy. I'm going to walk you through the complete how to do it, what to look at, and how to quickly have those wins, because this is a really easy way of building backlinks. Now, before we crack on, jump over to Rank Lightning, my local SEO tool that is live now. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Every single week we're doing something new. We're releasing something new. We're constantly on top of it. By the end of this year, we're going to have something that's going to go comparison toe-to-toe with everything you need, like a SEMrush, and we'll be able to do it a lot cheaper. All right, so what is the Skyscraper Backlink building technique? Essentially, all it is that you're going out there looking for informational content that's receiving a lot of links, that's got a lot of links, it's ranking well, and you want to grab those links from the competitor. So essentially what we're doing is, let's say that this is a blog. Now, I work with a lot of roofing companies. So the way I normally look at it is I sit there and go, okay, well, let's look for keywords that are ranking really high. And I'm going to walk you through my strategy and how I do it. But let's just say this is a blog and there's a lot of links. This is maybe a competitor's blog, someone else's blog that's on the topic of roofing, and they've got a lot of backlinks coming into it. With the Skyscraper technique, what I'm doing is I'm creating a blog on the same topic. So I'm going to create something. So if this is like, how much does a roof replacement cost in South Florida? As an example, like this is the one I'm creating. This is what the topic is. I'm also going to create a blog on the same topic, but I'm going to make it better. So maybe this blog that has these 3 websites linking to it, just as an example, it's talking about everything that I want to talk about. It's in the same category. Like, I'm not going to be out there looking for, as an example, I'm not doing this for anything along the lines of, how to trim dog hair as an example. No, it needs to be along the lines of what I want to rank my website from. It's topically relevant. The categories of the backlinks align. So as an example, okay, it's what is the cost of replacing a roof in South Florida? I'm going to create one exactly the same, but better. So maybe this is 3,000 word long and there's a couple of stats in there. Maybe it just talks about, South Florida in general. Well, I'm going to create a blog that talks about Miami, that talks about perhaps even the county. So maybe I'll look at Miami-Dade County. This is the average cost. If we're looking at Broward County, this is the average cost. So I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Oh, and in Broward County, this is the cost for shingle roofs. In Broward County, this is the average cost for a tile roof, because of the, you go more in detail. Now, the reason you just slap in the details like I am here, pretend these lines are details, is because what we're doing is we're going to go out there, we're going to find these websites, the 1, 2, 3, and what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to those webmasters and say, hey, mate, you're linking over here to my competitor. Now, you don't need to say you're a competitor, but you can sit there and be like, listen, brother, that blog's outdated. It doesn't even have the cost of actually replacing a shingle roof in Broward County. Don't you want your readers to have actually more valuable insight? Well, guess what, mate? I have all of that information over here. So why don't you guys just send me a cheeky little link and make the experience better for your readers? That's essentially what the Skyscraper technique is. You're trying to emulate and make better what someone else already has, give it more data, give it more statistics, give it more information, and then reach out to individuals and try and get those links. Now, let me show you exactly how I go about it. Now, typically what I'll do is I'll come over to something like SEMrush. I'm just going to go straight to the keyword overview. Now, what I would suggest you do, same thing. So I do local SEO, guys. That's the main thing I focus on. Again, I don't do any affiliate, and most affiliate guys that I see now, you're all coming to play my game. But the thing is, the way I approach this is I always just keep it very broad at the start, and I just put in something like roof, okay? That's on the topic. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have a look for questions that have very high volume. Now, the reason I want very high volume is because I know there should be a lot more links pointing to those things. As an example, if there's a question or a blog or a piece of content that's created along the lines of, and there's 50 searches, how many people are linking to that? Probably not many. So what I do is I scroll down here and I have a look. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Now, if you notice something like a Forbes, this is a great example. Is it worth getting this and looking and grabbing this, opening up this, just FYI, I personally think no, because this might be a lot of tier 2 links. Now, I'll cover that later in the pros and cons of this approach. But what you want to be doing is looking at the referring domains, okay? We're having a look at the referring domains. We're not looking at backlinks because remember, it's 328 referring domains but 9,000 backlinks. So we're looking over here at the referring domains. Now, what I tend to do is I'll come down and I'll see wherever there's the highest count. So I'll open up this guy. He's got 394. I want to grab that blog. I'm going to grab this old houses. I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to grab this one. It's got 382. So this is Angie's. Now, the reason I'm actually doing this is because what I'm trying to ascertain is what I'm trying to get is, remember, all of those links are pointing to these blogs. There's a reason why I don't just grab 1, 2, or 3. Now, when you are creating this content, you can see that, there's some prices here. You can see our national averages here. Now, this information, obviously on the national level. If you put in Florida, it's probably going to drop it down to maybe under 1,000 searches for this. So you could look at Florida. Now, you've got to be thinking though, okay, have a look at the content and see what they've got going on, because the whole approach to this strategy is you've got to be better. So I'm just going to have a quick look through these guys, and you want to make sure what's going on. Like, they've got a lot of costs. Okay, they do have by state, only a few states though. So they only have a few states. All right, keep going through. Yep. Okay, same thing, metal. So they have a little bit. Let's go to Angie's and let's have a look at this. Okay, so theirs is a little bit prettier. I don't know if Old Mate's just... Looks like Old Mate's literally just copied Angie's. Or vice versa, hey. I don't put it past a big organisation to steal the hard work of everyone else. So, you can see just a lot of stuff they've got going on with the asphalt shingles, blah, blah, blah. What I'm not noticing, though, is a cost as an example of the type of roof by state. So see that? See how I'm going through. Remember how I said you've got to make your article better. So try to look what the top ones don't have. So these all have like, average this. Here's the average of that, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm noticing is they have by state, but they then don't have a breakdown of the state. There's your in. So this is exactly what we would need to look for. This is how you need to try and make your content a little bit different. You've got to look at it like this and go, okay, well, what do I need to do? For me, I'm spotting it as, okay, awesome. They have the state average, but what's the state average by type of roof? How much is it for shingle? How much is it for metal? How much is it for tile? What about TPO commercial roofing? What about that? There's no commercial roofing in here. Should we maybe sprinkle some commercial stuff in as well? Look at how we're making it different and further down. And we could also even add in some numbers about how many roofs actually need to have a new roof placed on them each year and in each state. See how we've just added in all of that extra data. So your article now becomes a lot better. You need to think like that, and that's going to help attract more links, because remember, we're reaching out to these people and enticing them to link to us. So you're going to have to go across to SEMrush. So just come back to SEMrush, have a look at the ones that you want to have a look at. So like these guys here as an example. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to grab the backlink information. So you're going to have a look at all of the backlinks. Now export all of the backlinks. So you're going to come down to backlink analytics. Even though you guys have this like zoomed in so you can see it really well, it's so in my face, so I'll just zoom it out a bit. Wow, that's a really nice profile. Okay, so what I want to make sure that I'm doing is specifically for that page, I want to make sure that I'm grabbing all of those links, okay? So I'm going to come over here and 115 referring domains to this page, and I want to export that data. So you're going to export all of this information. Now, I don't really look at the AS score. When it comes to backlinks, I still think a link's a link, regardless of their AS score. Is a more powerful AS score a better link? Yeah, of course. But at the same time, to me, the way I look at links is probably the same way Google looks at them. Yes, some things will have a vote of confidence, but if your brand is constantly mentioned more out on the internet, buy something that's linking out to your competitors, that's a good sign. That always will put you in good stead with Google. So that's why I don't set a cutoff limit, because I got asked this the other day on a consulting call. Like, do I stop, at 5? What was it? It was at 10. I don't. I go all the way down. Like, I would be very happy to get links from any of these guys if they're reputable. If the things are reputable, I want a link from them. So you're going to export that. Okay, so export all of that information. Now, once you've done that, you're actually going to need to scrape for the contact details of all that list. So you've exported all the information. Now we've got all of this information here. Old Go banking rates. Get links from them from Haro. So I can get you a link from them. But what you want to do is you want to essentially scrape all of this information and get their contact details. Now, guys, I like Scrapebox. Scrapebox is pretty good for that. You can also use Hexamatic. So Hexamatic seems pretty good, seems pretty reliable. So this is something that you can use. There are the other things like, what was it? We don't use it anymore. The, was it not SendFox? It was something else. Hunter-Gatherer, I think it was. Like, I personally never found really a lot of success with that. I don't think it was that good. So I just went on to these guys when they gave me a lifetime deal. And this was ages ago, like years ago. So these guys are not too bad. But there's tons, honestly, there's tons of scraping tools. If you go onto something like AppSumo right now, there's going to be heaps of them. Try them out. Might work for you. Different plans, different processes. This one actually links up. We have all of the emails as well. So this one links up with our processes. I have like every tool of theirs. So it's kind of cool because everything links in together. And once you've got all of that information, you want to throw it into an email campaign and you're just reaching out to the individuals. Now, the way I like to structure the emails is you want to make sure that you're very, very articulate in what you say to the individual. Like, as an example, if we go back here. So let's just say, like, so this website right here, Mutual Mortgage, okay? So they've actually linked out to these individuals. Now, I think it was the Angie's one that we looked at. So we get to sit here and say, listen, guys, I know you've linked across to Angie's, Angie's one. Now, what we've done, you can see that they've broken it down by state, but that's, who cares? No two roofs are the same in the state. So what we've done is we've broken it down by type of roof. So we have shingle, we have metal, we have tile, we have even some commercial stuff like TPO roofing. We have roof repair stuff in there as well, because some people might just need a bit of a roof repair. So instead of a new roof, you could sprinkle in some additional information. Now, when you're reaching out to these mutual guys, that's what you want to highlight. Don't highlight and sit there and be like, okay, yeah, mate, what we've done is we've actually sat there and we've created a blog the same as what you're linking to. Give us a link. Good luck. They're just going to be like, nah, bro. Nah, it's not going to happen. A lot of the times what you're going to find is you've got to pitch and say, this stuff's outdated. Here's why it's outdated. Here's all this new information that's better for your website, your engaged traffic, your readers, your trusted team, your trusted people, your audience that are coming to you. You want to give them great insights. Here's that. Here's that data. Here's our sources. Go nuts with it. That's what will get you traction. Now, let me jump into the pros and cons of this approach. Okay, so let me walk you through the pros and cons and give you some extra tips on the backlink building strategy for the skyscraper technique. One of the biggest cons that I have with this is this technique's a little bit dated. Okay, so this used to work really, really well back 5 years ago, where there wasn't all of this just flood into SEO. It used to work really, really, really well. Back when the internet was a little bit more, the whole internet of the dead internet theory, I believe in that massively. And realistically, it's true. So I think everything's just getting harder and harder out there. If you don't know about the dead internet theory, go and check it out. It's fantastic. You like all things. It's something that's pretty cool that will entertain you. And the reason that I think that is because the likelihood of responses that you're going to get, unless your content is amazing, is low. To be completely honest, your conversion rate's going to be sitting around 1% or below. So if you're sending out 100 emails, you might get one link. maybe. But I'm going to be honest, if you send 100 emails, I personally think you're probably going to get 0 links. If you send out 1,000 emails though, okay, you're probably going to get 10 links. That's how I look at it. Like that's the honest truth. Like that's how poorly this performs. That's a big con of it. The other thing is you spend all this time collecting all of this information. And the reason I don't like going to Forbes things is because what a lot of the time people do is parasite SEO, and then they throw up something. And because it's on a reputable website, you just get to hit it with the worst links. So you get to hit it with the worst links. And then you'll come over here and you'll be like, okay, well, I need to build links that the 627 referring domains to Forbes. Cool bananas. I'm going to reach out to them. They might be really, really bad links. Okay. From experience, that's why I avoid, if I see parasite SEO happening, I avoid it straight away, because the type of links that's going to it will be subpar. They will be subpar. There'll be a lot of terrible links in this profile compared to old mate like that was down here that had a really good link profile overall. That was fantastic. It was one of the best link profiles I've seen in the last 2 weeks. So that type of stuff you've got to consider. I want those really good links, not tier 2 links. That's something that you need to be really cautious of when you're doing this technique. Try to stay away from anything parasite SEO. I personally, even though this is up the top, even though there's going to be some good links coming in there will be some legitimate links, I still stay away from it because 50% of it is at least going to be tier 2 rubbish. The other thing that I don't like is you'll never ever really win links this way for a money page. So it's always going to be to informational content. It's never going to be to anything along the lines of, oh, this is my roof replacement Miami page that I really, really want to rank. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And the reason for that is because you're doing all informational. You don't put statistics and all of this on your sales page, do you? No, you don't have these beautiful graphs and charts and figures and numbers and things flashing up like, look how cool this is, interactive sliders. No, the money page is about the money, the transaction, get straight to the point. With informational content, that's not the point. So the best thing you got to do is put a link, an internal link up the top of the page in the body of the content across to your money page. So it's never as powerful as actually building a link straight to the page. That's another con of doing this. You're doing all that work, but the links are going to informational content compared to your money page that will actually make you money. There is a pro to this approach that I really like though, is it's very straightforward. You know exactly what to do. Like I showed you, how quickly was it? You get to quickly go in there, you get to quickly just put in a broad keyword, find that has a lot of volume. Here we go, here's a link list that I get to reach out to and pitch. Now, you'll probably need to pay some of these individuals, so I suggest it, but you know, each to their own, because people need to be compensated for their time. Now, as an example, when it comes to anything along these types of lines, guys, I like things that are simple. If this is a simple approach and I get a long list of websites that I can reach out to that clearly are linking across to something, they may be enticed to link across to my stuff, that's what I want. And that's why the skyscraper technique is good for that, because you get to build up a lot of domains really, really quickly. And you can do it a lot faster than a cold outreach campaign to just randomness. When it's randomness, what's the intent behind the website owner? Are they even open to linking out to things? Well, according to this list, these guys are open to linking out to things. And that's what you got to consider as well. So the skyscraper technique is a good one. So to close this down, guys, the main thing that you want to focus on is look at those keywords. Make sure that you go after something with a lot of volume like this. Keep it in the game. Keep it the same game you're playing. Don't, roofing, you stick to roofing topics. Plumbing, you stick to plumbing topics. Car wash, you stick to car wash. You keep it all aligned, guys. All of it's aligned. First thing that you want to be thinking about. The other thing that you want to be thinking about is make sure that your content is unique. It is more up to date. It has more data in it. Data is what drives a lot of links, and it's very appealing. Getting that data is very, very good. Even making a YouTube video on it can help as well, because none of those blogs, no YouTube videos embedded in there. What happens if you make a YouTube video on those statistics. As my point, guys, be that little bit different, make it more engaging for the individuals and so they want to link across to your website. And just remember the pros and cons, guys, okay? Sometimes you really need to show and flaunt, hey, this is why I'm better and this is why the other one's outdated. If you've enjoyed this, put a comment down below. I want to hear about backlink building strategies that you guys are implementing. So put a comment down below, legends. I'll see you around. If you've enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Thanks for that. Cheers.